Welcome back to the Arbitrary YouTube channel. Today we'll be learning how to make this beautiful fabric butterflies. Okay, it's made with fabric. For this tutorial I'll be working with Ankara fabric and plain polished fabric. You can use whatever fabric you want. Just make sure your fabric is not too soft so that it can stand on its own like this, and it's very cute and simple to make. It can be used to beautify ball gown, baby dresses, or even to beautify wall, any plain space that you have. So I have quite a number of it here, and I'll be taking us through different process of how I'm able to achieve this. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to get our fabric ready. So like I said, you can use any fabric of your choice. Just make sure that you don't use, for example, it's not advisable to use like silk fabric for this. So just get cotton fabrics that are nice and have beautiful prints, and you can use them to make these butterflies. Okay, so now the measurement you are working with depends on how big you want your butterfly to be. For basics, for this tutorial I'll be working with a measurement of 5 inches like I have here. This is 5 inches in width, and the length I'm working with here is 3.5 inches, as we can see. So I have 3.5 by 5 inches here. You can do more, you can do less, depending on the volume you want, but this is what this measurement gave me. Okay, it gave me this amount. So if you want something bigger than this or smaller than this, you just need to adjust your measurement. So after you have it like this, I have this print on this side and I have a plain fabric on this side. Remember, it is 3.5 inches by 5 inches. So the next thing I went ahead to do is to take this to the sewing machine, and then I sew it round like this in a 4-corner way. So I just sew the rectangle shape round, and then I left small space here to turn it out to the right side. So you just place your fabric wrong side facing the wrong side, and then you sew it round. So after sewing it round, you just take your scissors and then you cut it at the corners so that it can lay well for you, or you just notch it round, whichever one is fine for you. So after doing this, now I'm just going to dip my hand through the small space that I left, and then I'm going to turn it out. So now you turn out everything that you have. So once everything is out, now I'm just going to take my scissors, or if you have like the how that they use to turn fabrics, you just dip it inside from that small space that you have, so that you can use it to push out the corners so that they can be sharp and neat. Okay, you can see that this side now is different from this side. So you take it through the 4 corners that you have, and then you gently push it out. Remember, it's a scissors so that you don't go and rip your seam or don't cut your fabric. So just try to shapen it out like that, and then once you have the 4 corners out, you take it to your ironing table, and then you give it a good press. So automatically the space that you have here, the seam allowance will also be tucked in. So when you give this a good press, it will be looking really flat and nice like this. So after giving it a press, you can decide to top stitch it, which is what I have on this one. So you just take it back to your sewing machine now, and then top stitch around this. So after top stitching this, the next thing now is to form your butterfly. So to form your butterfly, just watch this carefully. You fold your fabric into 2 like this. Okay, you fold this into 2 like this. After folding it into 2, then you fold it into 4 again. So the first thing is to fold it into 2. When you fold it into 2, you try to press it with your hand so that it can stay. Then you fold it into 4 again like this. So after folding it into 4, you can also press it like this. So after pressing it, the part that you have your 4 corner, the ones that you can open up like this, you hold that with your hand. Once you hold it with your hand, you open it, you have like 1 2 3 4. So you just press the 3 and release the remaining one. Once you release this one, you use it to just form like a triangle on the upper part like this. You can see what I'm doing, just follow it. So just press it like this, and then you press it down. Okay, so you have like a triangle on this upper part, then you have your printed fabric showing on this side. So after pressing this side open like that, I'm going to go over to the other side. So what I did on this side, this four corner here, is what I want to repeat on this side also. So I'm just going to lift this up again now, and then I'm going to press this also, so that it can form this butterfly for me. So after forming your butterfly, you just try to arrange it well with your hand, so that you have the same thing on the two sides. Okay, what you have on this side should be equal, so it means these edges should match each other, they should be on the same line. And then you check the second one also to make sure that the edges are lying flat. So it's quite simple. Let me do this again. Just fold this into 2, and then you fold it into 4 again. Once you fold it into 4, I'll raise this up now, and then I'm going to try to form like my mini triangle here. So after forming this, I fold this over on this side up again, and then I form this triangle on this side also. So it's very simple. You just need to pay attention to it and then follow what I'm doing. Okay, so this side should be sharp like this. You should have this sharp edge on the, and then you have this. So once you raise it up like this, you have like this small space in between your two fabrics. Okay, so after having this, now on this side of your fabric, you're just going to push this one inside like this a bit, and then you use your hand to press this side like this. Okay, so I have it like this. This is the triangular part. On this other part that I have, the leftover of my fabric, I'm going to push it inwards like this, and then downward on this side. So once I push it downwards, I'm going to hold this with my hand now, and then I'm going to pass like a needle and thread, and then use it to tack it in such a way that it holds everything in place for me. So I'll be doing the tacking here, not at the tip, because if I do it at the tip here, it's not going to hold this small corner for me. So I'll just be doing it at the corner here, and then in such a way that it's going to be neatly concealed. So what I did is just to push this one inwards like this, and then I push this downwards, and then I held it with my hand. Then I'm going to be passing my needle and thread from the under part upwards like this. Then you can pass it around a couple of times just to hold it in place for you. Okay, so now I'm passing, I just passed it twice. Remember, this is just a tutorial, and then this is held for me now. So the same thing I did here, I'm going to be repeating on this side also. And what is that? I'm just going to be pushing this side also inwards like this, and then the other one I'm going to press it down. So when doing this, you should just make sure that the logic is that you see this part that you have here, your pushing should not press it down like this. So it should be your guide. Once you push this inwards and you want to press it down, make sure that whatever it is you want to press down does not fold this. You can see that it's still standing straight, and then this and this are on the same line. Okay, so once I've done that, now I'll just take, I did not cut out my thread, so I'll just take it, and then the lower part also, remember, is not straight with this. So you can see it's just a bit away from the pointed part that we have here. The same thing should happen to the second one. Just check to see that what you have on this side is what you have on this side. Once you are okay with it, I'm just going to take my needle and thread also, and then I'm going to run it to the inner corner of this also. The aim of this is to hold everything together in place. So I'm going to be passing it also a couple of times to make sure that everything is held. So once everything is held here like this, then you are okay with your butterfly, and then this is what you are going to have. You can see that it's now becoming similar to what we have here, and you're almost through. So once you do this now, on this four corner that you have here, I'm going to be pushing it inwards like this. Okay, so from here now, what I'm doing now is just pushing this triangular edge here and pushing it upwards like this. And once I push it upward, I'm going to use my needle and thread also again to sew it from behind and then pass it upwards. Okay, so I've passed it now and then I've sewn it. You can see this is what I have, and then I'm going to pass it inwards again so that I can hold it together nicely. Okay, so now I have it. Then our butterfly is done. So now it depends on you, on whatever embellishment, whatever you have to embellish this. If you could look at this now, I just have these tiny pearls, and then I pass this through this to embellish this. In this case, I have like a teardrop bead which I sew to this to embellish this. And if you look at this now, I use the combination of my pearl and my teardrop bead. So whichever one it is you wish to embellish it, if you have like trimmings, if you have like any ornament, just something just to beautify it so that it will not be too plain. Okay, so after doing this now, I still have a little of my pearl, so I'm just going to show us how I was able to use that to beautify it at the middle. So I'm just going to bring out some of the pearls, and then remember I still have my needle and thread here. I've not removed it, and then I'm going to be passing them through the eye of my needle. So I think I'm passing about 6 or 8 of these inside this needle now, and then that is what I'm going to be using to beautify my butterfly. So like I said, you can use whatever it is you want to beautify this butterfly. So now I've passed this to it now, and then I'm going to, you can see this is what the butterfly is looking like now. So from behind I've passed it to it now. I'm just going to use it to cover it up like this, and then using my needle and thread again, I'm going to be passing my needle and thread from behind here so that I can tack it neatly so that it can hold it for me. So I've used it to pass it to the last one to hold it, and then now I can pass to this one also, or you can just pass it down a bit just to hold it in place. Then after that you find somewhere and then you tack it, and that is all you need to do to form your butterfly, fabric butterfly. So you just tack it neatly, and once you are okay, you don't even have to tack it in front like I'm doing. You can just tack it at the back so that it can be really neat. And once you are okay with it, you just trim off the excess that you have here. And then you have your butterfly ready like this. Okay, so this is what you have, and you can see how cute this is looking. It is really beautiful and simple to make. So like I said, you can, if you make like a ball gown for a child, you can use this to decorate the ball gown. You can even use this as a hairband. Okay, so if you have like maybe an ordinary band like this, you can just use your needle and thread to tack this to wherever part of your band, and then once you use this to bond your hair, this cute butterfly will just be showing on your hair. You can also use it to decorate a headband. Just place it around your, depends on how creative you want to be with this. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you learned 1 or 2 things. If you enjoyed this tutorial, kindly leave a comment in the comment section. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.